We're alrighty then. Hello, everybody. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me. I am your host, Ramadi, and as you see, we have some new additions to the world here. So the first thing I'm just going to touch on very briefly, we have used what was provided a landing gear that was provided in the station originally. We're just using him to hold the small mining ship here. We're just using him to hold the small mining ship onto the base. You see the green right here indicates that it is locked. If it is yellow, that means it's not locked, so he's just stuck here then. And then as you can see, I has our small builder ship ahead and finished. He is not very pretty. That is okay. He does not need to be pretty. He's just here to get the things built is pretty much why he is here. I pop into him for just a moment and I go ahead and show you in the inventory. I have moved our components over here into the builder ship. So he is ready to go. And then the episode is finally here when we get to tackle and build the large mining ship. And so we are going to, I think, start to do that. And we start by doing that with the little conveyor here. We're going to use light blue, I think, for this guy. And so, actually, no, that's not true. We're going to use black for all of our conveyor systems. So all of our conveyors are going to be in black, just like that. So we start off here with the conveyor. I'm going to run a couple of pipes, and then I am going to go ahead and do another conveyor, just like that. Now we go ahead, we switch over here. You know what? I think we go with the gray. Let's go with the dark gray. I like that. Let's go with the dark gray. And what we're going to start off here now is we're just going to start off with a couple of the large cargo containers, because this is going to be a large mining ship, and because he is the large miner, we're going to have an appreciable amount of storage space for him. So that's how we're going to start off. So now we go pop into my builder ship. I'm going to point out something to you here very briefly. When you turn on the welders, they are now deadly. They will injure you if you go ahead and get close to them, and that includes if you accidentally hit T to exit out of your cockpit. So if you're going to exit the ship, build the ship when it's configured like this. Of course, this is not the only way to build the builder ship. There are many ways to do it. This is just my preferred method. If you're going to go ahead and exit out of your cargo, your builder ship, please make sure that your welders are turned off. We do not need the lighting right now, so we're just going to nosy up here. We're just going to take our little builder ship. We're going to nosy it on up to the cargo containers here. And I got overwhelmed. We overwhelmed my computer there a little bit. Congratulations. So yeah, there we go. We just go ahead and build him. And now we're going to come on down here, down below too. I didn't necessarily want to build the boxes down there, but that's okay. We'll let them go ahead and build. We'll just go ahead and do our conveyor system on the bottom of the ship, just like that. So yeah, so that's looks like he's decent start here. I tell you what we're going to do. Okay, good, they are off. I thought I was going to kill myself. We just going to come over here. We're going to start to plan out what it is we're going to do. I have switched over to the heavy armor blocks here. With a large ship like this, I am just going to kind of make sure that it can take a little bit of punishment. I'm not a very good driver, so we're just going to make sure that I can, in fact, take a little damage and not lose my ship here is what we're going to do. So I'm curious why these things are turned off. They should be perfectly happy with me, but it does not appear that they are. Which is interesting. I'm assuming that it is a lack of power that is going on there is what is happening. So what we're going to start off with here on the interior, we're actually going to start off with something called the interior walls, and I use these for floors, for the flooring in my ships as well. I like the look that they has in the flooring. So we're just going to go ahead and start by building a few of these things along the way, just like this. I think that's going to be just fine. And I don't want to go more than that. I don't want to go much wider than that. We're just going to keep it there, I think, at too wide. Yeah, I think that'd be fine. So we're kind of setting dimensions of the ship here. We're going left and right with the dimensions of the ship. So now we go ahead and I'm just going to showcase this real quick. I'm not going to do a whole lot of building while I'm actually on camera with you. I'm going to do more of placing. But we just go ahead and we do a little bit of the welding here real fast just to showcase how nice it is to use to build a ship versus a hand welder. It goes considerably faster. Not too bad there. I think they're all just about done. Yeah, we just go ahead and we shift on this way now, and we go ahead and finish the building. I think if you play enough Space Engineers that you eventually come to really like that welding sound, that little sound that you get out of the welders. It is a pretty nice sound. Okay, there we go. So that is all done, it looks like. So there is the beginning, at least, of our floor. Really what I'm going to do, I think, for this episode is I just want to work on the front of the ship, and we're going to go ahead and build the front over here. Yeah, obviously, we're not going to be able to see very much of. You know, we can't really drive this thing the same way that we're going to be able to, say, drive this little guy here. I can just pop into first person and I can see what's going on. With the large ships, that is very rarely the case. You kind of have to use an exterior view. So what we're going to do then is we're going to take a little bit of piping. So we need to go get to my black so I can do the piping. We're just going to extend our piping out just a little bit, and then maybe one more. I guess one more probably sounds good. And then on the end of that, we are going to go ahead and place a conveyor. And now I want to be cognizant, because if I build too much here on too small of a frame, this is eventually going to start to wobble around. You know, lack of gravity is pretty nice, but we still need to be cognizant of that fact, I think. So really what I'm going to do here on the front is we're going to make what has been lovingly referred to by a good friend of mine, Inedra. She refers to it as the potato masher. And it's kind of a term of endearment that we give to this ship. This is not a very pretty ship. If you noticed, I kind of struggle to build the pretty things here in the Space Engineers, but I do feel like what I build are the functional things here in this game, and I am certainly okay with building the functional things. But yes, she refers to this as the potato masher. I don't feel like that's a very flattering term. Basically, what she's saying is we have a large flat head on one side, which is a large area of drills, and then on the other side we have a kind of a handle. You know, it's smaller and long, and so the idea behind the potato masher type mining vessel is that I want to be able just to kind of go through the middle, create holes in an asteroid without doing any damage to my actual ship. And this is pretty efficient at doing that. It also turns out that it gives us some nice opportunities to include the other vessels that we have built. So if we're thinking about building a capital ship, you know, a very large ship, this will certainly fit the bill for doing that, and we can include other things via connectors. That is pretty nice, I think, and that I do like that. So, okay, so here we go. This is just essentially a little 5x5 area. This is going to get much bigger. Something that I forgot about to add here is that I do need to go get the drill, and here's a drill right there. So we just go ahead. You're on the wrong menu. I need to put the drill over on this menu right here. So we put him on number 6, I guess. Now for these, I want to be able to see the drills. I want to have good contrast. So we're going to go ahead and do them in white. I want the contrast so when I'm driving the ship on the outside that I can actually go ahead and I can see them against the ores and the asteroids. So that's why I use white for the drills. And this is going to be a little bit boring at this stage, as we're just going to start creating layers of these drills. So this is a little expensive design. That's why I spent a little time earlier actually doing the mining. But as you see, we're just going to create a large flat area here on the front that we are then going to drive the ship into. and in doing so, by driving the ship into that, it is just going to create this nice area for us to mine and to kind of gobble up the asteroids, which is the goal. So I tell you what, I know that this is at least a little bit boring. I'm just going to hop into my builder ship here. I'm going to start building on the drillers here. I'm going to do a little bit of reinforcement in this area and maybe create just kind of the drivetrain for the ship itself. And then here in just a moment we come back then when I have a little more exciting things to do. So I see you in just a second. Okay, so here we go. You see that I have gone ahead and finished the 5x5 area. This is going to end up, I think, something like a 9x9 or 10x10 here on the front. So it has quite a ways to go. However, I started this little project with 10,000 steel plates. I am now out of steel plates. All of this little thing right here has used 10,000 steel plates. You see why I say you never turns down the irons. So I have gone over here. I've gone ahead and docked our builder ship. I pop into the builder ship real quick here. I just show you what we're doing in terms of the production. I have now started producing more of the steel plates. And then I have gone ahead and moved over our iron ores here to be in the refined area so that we can try and get our feet back under us. I have also run out of the construction components, so we're going to have to start making more of those here as well. So yeah, we very quickly exceeded what we had available to us, and you know, and that's not I guess a huge surprise. The large ships, they will take quite a lot of the resources here, and we still has a decent amount here. If I wanted to remove some of the station here, I certainly could. So ultimately, I guess not a huge deal, but it's just going to cause us a little stall. Excuse me, so sorry. Cause a little stall here for the moment. So while all of those things go ahead and produce, and while I do at least a little bit of menial work up here, I go ahead and turn the camera off again, and I see you here in just a moment. Okay, so here we're back. It occurred to me that I could speed this process up with a couple more of the assemblers. So I went ahead and I added those. Now there is a little catch with the assemblers, so I go ahead and I pop in here and I show you with the assemblers what we are talking about. So I can add this into a cooperative mode if I want, and I want them all to be in that cooperative mode. And now when I go over here under productions, you see it's going to be sped up as all three of the assemblers is now working together. The other thing I can do is I can assign the assemblers here. I can assign them the different the different tasks. So we're going to assign one of these guys to build 5,000 of the construction components, and we're going to assign the other guy over here. What do we want him to build? What do we want him to build? You know what? We so short on steel plates. We're just going to go ahead and do another 10,000. Now I see that these are red. Yes, I do. I see that. I'm not particularly worried about it. It is what it is for the moment. I know why they're red. I go fix it here in just a second, but yeah, for the moment. So they're not hooked up to anything. There's no conveyor system here to work with these guys. So that's why they're not working. So let's go get our red. Let's go get the conveyors. That's not what I want. I want the conveyors like this. And let's go ahead and build these guys now. I need small steel tubes. I need 46 of those guys. Let's go get them. Small steel tube, I need 46. Just, we get 100. That's fine. We just get 100. Okay, so now we go back here. Now we go back, and now we start to see what is going on with our assemblers. Now that we has 3 of them, they should be able to go ahead and pull the okay, so they're just pulling irons into them as they make the different things, which is good. So now let's go back to production. I want to go to the first assembler who's currently crunching on these plates, which is just fine. Because we have another assembler doing plates now, I'm going to have him go back to doing the solar panels and then to the power cells. We also need a few more of the computers. We're going to make 1,000 of them. We're going to need a few more of the motors as well, so we're going to make 1,000 of them. And then we're just going to go ahead and shift these guys here to the back so that these will go ahead and produce first, which is what we want. So there we go. So hopefully we speed this process up a little bit and not so much waiting by adding in a couple other assemblers. And so it's my hope that we see these things start to work here and just get more of the resources that we need. So okay, so yeah, so that's the little update here. I come back here in just a moment when I have a little bit more built on our ship. Okay, there. So welcome back. Thank you. So many of the parts now I've let the productions and the assemblers go ahead and do their things. So there should be all but done at this stage. I think they should be all but done. I just noticed that this little thing is red in here, and I was curious for a moment, except there is none of the energies. So of course the thing is red. It can't transport anything without the energies. So what we're going to do real quick here, I only have a couple minutes left in this episode before it has been too long. What we're going to do is the command deck, the deck for the actual ship is going to be right in here. And what we do, we're going to hide a couple important parts of the ship that we need right up here in the front of it. So the first thing that we need is we need an ore detector. This is going to be the ore ship. We want him to do the mining, and so therefore I needs to have the detector. So there's our ore detector. For him, we're going to need, it looks like, some more of the parts. We're going to need some of the motors, some of the computer, so 5, 25, and 25. Now I know for a fact I do not think the detector components are quite done just yet. So we may go here to the production tab. I think he is in one of these assemblers. Oh, they are completed. Okay, this is good. This is good then. So yeah, we come out here, we get the detector components, we move them over. I said a minute ago, I said that I need some of the motors, so those will be right here. So let's just go ahead. Let's say we pick up 40 of the motor, and I needed 25 of the computer, and they don't take up much of that space, so how about I just take 100 of the computer with me. So okay, so now we should be able to finish the ore detector, and if you have guessed, and you have probably guessed right, the ore detector, what he does is he detects the ores. It's very self-explanatory. But yeah, as we fly around asteroids, he detects. And now the big ore detector, you notice on our small little mining ship over there, that he had a range about 50 meters with the ore. The big one over here, he has range of about 150 meters. So much easier to find the ores with that guy. So yeah, he good. Now over the other side here, I'm going to lay down some of these plates first. And so we need to go in here to the plates. We go and get them. So I just lay, I think, a couple of rows of the plates out. Now, I'm not convinced I have quite enough of the steel plates in my inventory to finish all of this. So we're just going to do a couple here real quick. And then I think I maybe go recharge my own batteries, and then I also get more of the steel plates. So let's go do that. Not in that order. We go in reverse order. So the first thing we do then is we get some of the steel plates. I guess I have 346. I replace with 154, not 7 with 4. There we go. And while I'm here, let's go ahead and move 24 of those guys as well. Let's move that into the builder ship. Let's move these into the builder ship. You have about 300. Let's move them into the builder ship. Let's look at it in terms of production. I am interested in how much of the ions I have left. I have 16,500 of the ions. Getting a little bit low. I need to be judicious in how I spend them. I think for right now, actually, I don't think I produce anymore. I'm going to leave it there. I tell you what, we need to do one more thing here before I go ahead and recharge myself. We have to do a little looking around. What I need is a beacon. So I think I just type in up there, I need a beacon. So there we go. I have not yet talked about the beacon. It's important piece. Is important piece in your ship, but as you see, it's going to use some of the radio components. I need 40 of the radio components. So let's go down here. We make them. The radio components, they are a special case. They are interesting. They are very, very expensive, and they are very heavy. So I have to be kind of careful in how I treat them. I'm making lots and lots of the construction components at the moment. So I tell you what, we make 40 of that guy. I'm going to go ahead and just put them up in the front. And they use a little of the silicon, so no big deal there. What they produce, we go over here, we get some of the energies. I finished that beacon, and then I think we'll be done with this episode. We come back so that we can keep and continue building the ship up there. I think in the interim, maybe I add some more layers to the drills on the front. But yeah, so the ship, like I said, the Potato Masher ship, we're going to probably spend a few more episodes on him. He is, unfortunately, he is going to take us a little bit time to make, because he's a bigger ship, you know, he's a bigger guy. So yeah, we come here to the beacon. I put in all the other things that I need, 40 of the large and 60 of the small steel tubes. So let's go get those things here. We just pop into the container just like that. I'm going to move the rest of these things out of my inventory. I'm going to do that purposely because the radio components, I can only carry 27 of them at a time. So they is very big and heavy. So we move over here, we put them into the guy, and now we have to fly back. You might notice I'm not using my builder ship for right now. It's just because we are in kind of a tight area. We are in kind of a tight area there. It's pretty close quarters, and unfortunately I made a builder ship who's he's very good. He's very good at building, but he he needs a larger area because he has 6 of the welders on the front. Maybe you don't want to have that right away. You know, maybe you prefer a ship that does not have all of the welders. Maybe you just want 1 or 2 of the welders so that the ship can be smaller and fit into you know, smaller areas, which is a good thing sometimes. So yeah, you see there we have the oil detector, then we have the beacon over there. You see that I have hidden 8 of the gyroscopes here inside of our area. That is just they were kind of a convenient place to put the gyroscopes. And potentially I maybe put a couple more in this area here too as well while I'm off camera. But yes, I think that's for the moment here. I think that's all I have. I think we go back down here. We get a little more of the components, some more of the energies. I build a little bit of the boring things while I'm off camera, and then I come back and I see you here in just a moment for the episode 11. So yes, so thank you for joining me as always, and I see you here in the next episode.